afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. I am Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and tonight we have a good one here. It is race number 9 of the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour here at Concord Speedway. It is the Forgotten Speedway's 125 as qualifying here tonight. About to kick on off. It looks like we got some cars here rolling to the speedway. One of the first cars out on track here tonight will be the 86 machine. This is Stephen Hoffman. Coming into tonight, I believe Hoffman, I want to triple check it, but I believe coming into tonight, yes he does, second in points. So Hoffman hoping to have a good one. That won't be the way to start it there. Got super loose into turn number 1. Will smack that wall and he'll try and get that car rolling. So we'll take a look at a different driver here. It is the 16 machine of Noah Boucher. Boucher here off of turn number 4. Will hit the stripe. Will start his lap here. Boucher a little bit loose into that kink, and that is what makes Concord so tough here tonight. Is that kink in the back. How much speed can you carry through that without losing the back end nor losing that front end there, just like that, as we saw Boucher, get on that apron there, unload that race car, and that will easily spin out any sort of car here tonight. Now we take a look. Here is the 44 machine of Zach Nichols, the previous 2 weeks winner is this 44 machine. So we'll once again start at the back of the field here tonight at Concord. But we'll see if Nichols can qualify inside this top 6 to get those 2 bonus points here tonight. Right now it looks like Devin McDonald with the quick time here in the 18 and 15.854, the 18 machine. Nichols lap number 1, 16.12, but it seemed like he kind of threw that first lap away. Here we go off of turn number 4 for the final time for the 44 machine, and he will go quick time here tonight, a 15.73 for Nichols. Now we take a look at the 53 machine, or the 14 on the car. That will be Matt Modulewski, and it looks like Modulewski gonna reset the car here. May try for another shot, as it looks like Jeff Dillon able to slot into Pete number 11. 18 cars on the premise here tonight. So far, 13 of them taking a time. Matt's going to be very close to see if he can get a lap. And with that spin, not going to do it. So, looks like Modulewski will not take a time here tonight. So that will leave then Zach Nichols once again walking away with a quick time award here with Postma Flooring. And that coming tonight with Concord. So a quick 2-minute warm-up for these drivers to get on set, get on ready, and then we'll head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup. A little bit of race information here, and you can see this tricky track map. This thing's pretty much a miniature Pocono, if we want to look at it that way. 1 and 2, very kind of easy, lazy corner that comes off nice and easy. So where the speed is made up in that first turn is going to be on entry, how well you can hustle in the car, because then you kind of roll it through, get on the throttle. Then that backstretch kink, you can see how aggressive it is, and that's where the speed is going to be made here tonight. How much will a driver push through that and willing to take the chance of overstepping and wrecking versus playing it easy and being there at the end, because this is a long race, 125 laps. A lot could happen in that time. And 3 and 4, pretty much your traditional kind of oval track corner. Hustle it on in there and try and really get a good exit down that front straightaway. That's lap around Concord, and these drivers doing it in under less than 16 seconds. So it is going to be a fun one to watch. It's been a while since we have raced at Concord, so it's good to be back, but Man, oh man, this place is as tricky as ever. These drivers gonna have to try and miss that apron that we saw the likes of the 16 machine hit. That car get upset. Then, of course, the wall seems a little bit tough here tonight. We've seen a few nose cones come off some race cars from some wall hits, so these drivers definitely going to have to keep it on a narrow path, already a narrow track. It's going to be fun to watch as we get ready now to head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup. Got cars jumping on the grid, so let's go through tonight's starting lineup for the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour here at Concord. Starting on the pole here tonight will be the 38 machine of Greggy Long. To his outside will be the 52 on the car, or the 912. That is Jeff Dillon. Landon Atkins in the 11 car will roll off P number 3. Nate Henry in the 59 will start fourth. Rounding out the top 5 here will be the 31. That is Zane Cruz. And then it is Tanner Tallarico in the 1 car starting in 6th. 7th will be Noah Boucher in the 16 machine. And to his outside starting in 8th is the 88 of Chuck Darling. Stephen Hoffman in the 86 will start 9th. And then it is Jimmy Gauker in the 2 machine starting in 10th. Rolling off 11th will be Devin McDonald in the 18 machine, and then Zach Nichols would have started 12th, but he is tonight's shotgun driver. He will start at the tail end of the field. Starting in 13th is the 10 car, that is Travis Wright, and 14th is the 13 car of Zach Hoyer. Dave Payton in the 38 machine will roll off 15th. 16th going to Matt Moduleski in the 53. John DeMeester in the 2 machine will start 17th. And John Perrialt would have started 18th, but looks like Perrialt not making the call here tonight. So 17 cars out on track ready to do battle as here we go. I believe, we might get an extra pace lap here tonight, so gonna have a little bit more time to check out these race cars here at the Concord Speedway. And right now, with this dynamic weather, it looks like it is nice and cloudy, so that's gonna help with grip a little bit here at the start for these drivers, as this setup definitely on the looser side. Gonna keep these drivers on their toes all night long here. As now this time by, I believe gonna see the 1 to go signal, and we will turn them on loose next time by. So it's gonna be Long and Dillon on the front row here, as the iRace and Pace truck makes the left-hand turn down pit road. Now the 38 machine gonna be in control, can fire off at any time. And here we go green flag racing here at Concord. 1 car already a little bit out of sorts. That was the 31 machine of Zane Cruz, getting a little bit sideways out there, but out in front it is Greggy Long pacing the field here tonight. Further on back here, Tanner Tallarico quickly trying to make the move on Nate Henry. Can't quite get the job done there through 3 and 4 that time. Further on back, Stephen Hoffman, Chuck Darling going to lean on each other. Darling loses a ton of speed there off of turn number 2. Great heads up driving by the 2 machine of Gauger not to get in the back of the 88. That could have been very, very bad there early. Now we take a look at a battle right behind Darling here, the 13 machine of Zach Hoyer and Matt Moduleski getting into it a little bit, contact on the front straightaway. So it looks like Moduleski going to be able to hang on to that spot. Up towards the front, Landon Atkins has driven up to P number 2 here tonight, so He is on the back bumper of our race leader, and so far, no one really driving away from the field or anything like that. I think everyone's trying to take it easy, build these tire pressures on up, build the tire temperature to the good operational temperature, and then we'll start to turn the loose from there on out. Further up towards the front, once again, Tallarico trying to work over the 59 machine. Henry there almost had the advantage to Dylan. Henry and Tallarico going to make contact there. Nate somehow hangs onto that race car, but now stuck up in lane number 2, going to lose a lot of positions out here. We'll be able to find an opening there by the time Hoffman can slot on in there, so looks like Henry will fall back to about the 9th position. Still has a lot of time to make it up through this pack, because all it takes is a little mistake, and you can lose a lot of time here at Concord. Landon Atkins, Zane Cruz sideways through 3 and 4. He will come to a stop, and oh man, Zach Coyer will get a piece of the 31 machine there. So Zane Cruz will come to a stop here off of turn number 4 to draw our first Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening. Let's take a look there, and looking at it live, it looked like maybe Zane Cruz just got in there a little bit too hot and had that back end step on out. You can see Cruz already a little bit loose there off of turn number 2. Then going into turn number 3 here, I think, yeah, just got it in a little bit too hot, a little bit too much weight to the front end. That will, of course, rotate the car on around, and then everyone able to get through except for that 13 machine there. I don't think too much damage to Coyer. As he is down on pit road, you can see the damage to the front end there. As Coyer will get that car rocking and rolling again, so gonna stay on out there. And yeah, first caution here tonight on lap number 10. Still quite a ways left in this race, but it so far has been action-packed. And speaking about action-packed, this guy started all the way back in 17th position. Zach Nichols is up to 11th so far here tonight. So 17 cars taking the green flag here. 17 cars still on the lead lap. So here we go. Greggy Long gonna have control and choose at the stripe. Looks like the 38 machine will choose this inside lane here. I'll put Landon Atkins on the top side of the front row. As lights are out around the speedway, that means one thing here. We are going green flag racing next time by, as iRacing Pace Truck here turns off the speedway super early. As now the field in control of the 38 machine. Long will jump on the loud pedal here. We go green flag racing. Further on back, Chuck Darling. Not sure if he got some help, but some big time wheel spin. Yeah, I think maybe Matt got in the back of him there. That slowed up the top lane there. But so far, everyone's still rocking and rolling here. As Long and Atkins trying to run away from the field. Jeff Dillon running in 3rd. Jimmy Gauker up into 4th here in this 2 machine. Tanner Tallarico rounding out the top 5. As we look a little bit deeper in the field here, Dave Payton holding off Matt Modulewski. Right behind Modulewski there in the 14 is a 31 machine of Zane Cruz. So Cruz trying to make back some of those positions lost from that spin there on lap number 10. Last time by, fastest car on the speedway was P number 2, Landon Atkins. Just put in a 15.53. So Atkins having a lot of speed here tonight. Jimmy Gauker able to get around Jeff Dillon. Dillon stuck up in lane number 2. Dillon into the wall here. So Dillon gonna lose a lot of positions, gonna go from P number 3 all the way down to P number 10 here tonight. But he will still have time to rebound, as tires will wear pretty aggressively here tonight at Concord, especially with the speeds we are seeing from these drivers. So if a driver takes it easy at the start, maybe like the likes of Zach Boyer or Travis Wright, they could be sitting in a really, really good spot when it comes later into this race. Side-by-side battle on the speedway for P number 6 here. It is Noah Boucher and Devin McDonald. Boucher going to be able to hang on to that spot at least another few laps here, as the 44 machine of Zach Nichols continuing to work his way through the field here tonight, as new driver in P number 2, Jimmy Gauker, able to get around Landon Atkins. So 2 machine of Gauker up to P number 2, as we see Devin McDonald continue to try and work over Noah Boucher. McDonald going to get into the back of Boucher. Boucher hard into the wall. Him and McDonald going to make some more contact here. I think even maybe Zach Nichols may have a little bit of damage from that. Oh, further in the back there, Nate Henry hard into the outside wall as well. So 59 machine going to pick up some right side damage down the back straightaway. And now Boucher going to be stuck up in lane number 2 here, and he will make big time contact to that outside wall. That 16 car definitely not driving as it once was, as he will try and get back to that bottom side, but that right front definitely pushed way on in. Once again, battle for that 6th position, as McDonald got that spot from Boucher. Now Zach Nichols will take it on over. Nichols has a long way to go to that top 5. About 2.5 seconds separates him to the 86 machine of Stephen Hoffman. So the top 5 hoping that this race goes green to the end. These guys all running pretty much the exact same pace here, just trying to run their race at the moment. Battle for 7 starting to heat back on up here, as Jeff Dillon making his way back through the field here. Dillon able to get around, it looks like the 18 on McDonald. Yes, he does. So Jeff Dillon back to P number 7. Right behind them, Matt Modulewski able to get around Noah Boucher. Now put him into P number 11. Zane Cruz also trying to get around the wounded 16 machine. And once again, Boucher, big time hit to that backstretch wall. Out in front though, battle for the race lead. Jimmy Gauker able to get around Greggy Long, and off of turn number 4, new race leader out in front. Gauker, the LaPlante short track throwdown champion, leads here tonight at Concord. As we get our second caution of the evening, and it looks like Noah Boucher gonna be stopped here against the inside wall. So we will see what happened to the 16 machine off of turn number 4. As so far, everything's looking pretty good. Looks like looking to the inside of Nate Henry, and oh, some contact there. And some neck code as well. And oh man, Boucher gets pinched in that inside wall pretty hard. And that 16 machine going to have both left and right side damage now, as we see the 11 car Landon Atkins down on pit road as well. So interesting call. Someone pitting from inside the top 5 down on pit road. We'll see. It looks like no tires going up on that car. Just going to maybe fill it up with some fuel and maybe try and see about some optional damage repair. Under our second Boardwalk Subs caution flag of the evening. First caution came out on lap 10. This one came out on, I want to say 34 here tonight, so. By that standard, the next one should be about lap 66 or so. So we'll see if that will be the case. But here we go. Jimmy Gallagher here, this time by at the stripe, gonna have the choose here of the bottom or the top side, and we seen all the passes here tonight be on the bottom side, and yeah, we're gonna see the 2-car choose that bottom. Rest of the field gonna re-rack, restack, and we will send them double file here to our second restart of the night. And a little Zach Nichols update here tonight. Started last restart, started 11th. Now that 44 up into 5th as here we go. Jimmy Gallagher in control of the start. Gallagher gonna jump on the loud pedal here, and we go back to green flag racing here at Concord. Greggy Long able to slot into P number 2 right behind the 2 machine. Here comes Stephen Hoffman able to get a nose to the outside of the 38 just for a split second as Tanner Tallarico continues to try and work this inside lane. Side by side still for that 3rd position here tonight. And this time by at the stripe about a 1/3 of the way already through tonight's race as these two still very, very close. Zach Nichols gonna look to the inside there. Gonna say, hey boys, figure it on out. We're trying to still march our way to the front. As I think with some good side-by-side racing here and some good close racing throughout the track, I think we do a little turn 3, turn it up, and let the cars do the talking. As just as I say that, we get our caution flag, so we will not be going. We will maybe on the following restart do a little turn 3, turn it up, but Jeff Dillon involved with this one here. He will be at the tail end of the field, so let's see what happened to bring out our 3rd caution of the evening. Oh, and it looks like Jeff Dillon just gets jacked up from the back bumper there. Devin McDonald just straight into the back bumper there of the 52 off of turn number 2. And man, how did no one clobber that 52? Sitting in a very bad spot in the kink there. I think the only car to really graze him was Matt Modulewski there. But man, that could have been a lot worse. So under our 3rd Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening, looks like Noah Boucher gonna get the lucky dog here tonight. And interesting call, we see some more takers down on pit road. Tanner Tallarico coming on down, same with the 44 of Zach Nichols. So that makes you wonder. I don't think there's enough fuel in these cars for this race here tonight, as we don't see any tires taken from the 44 machine. So it looks like just fuel only for those cars. As no Tallarico going to be the first to put tires on that one car in the first 1/3 of this race. He'll put some on. It looks like maybe the 44 machine of Zach Nichols going to take some tires as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these two get through the field, as everyone else going to double file them on up. And once again, going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing. Like I said, let's do a little turn 3, turn it up. So on the front row, Jimmy Gallagher in the 2. Going to lead the field to green. To his outside, Greggy Long in the 38. So let's do turn 3, turn it up for the 3rd restart of the night. as that turn 3 turn it up didn't last too long, as our fourth Boardwalk Sub caution comes on out for the 59 machine. We're going to see what happened to Nate Henry down the back straightaway. It looked like Henry just kind of pushed on up there and went on around off the nose of the 10 machine here, out of the kink. And that looks like the case. Henry maybe thinking the 10 was going to be more up towards the wall, but that was definitely going to be contact no matter what. And the 59 machine will come to a stop into turn number 3 there. A flurry of cautions now coming together here in the first half of the race. 4 cautions so far, and it looks like Zane Cruz, he got trapped a lap down coming out of pit road. He's able to get back on the lead lap here tonight. So once again under our 4th caution here, and we do have all of the cars that took the green flag out on track as well as on the lead lap here. All right, once again, Gauker will have to choose. Most definitely going to choose this inside lane here, as he will, and it looks like Greggy Long down on pit road as well. That moves Stephen Hoffman to the outside of the front row. One car having trouble off of pit road. That is the 31 machine of Zane Cruz. Gonna back it hard into the inside wall, and Zane Cruz, his night will probably come to an end with that one there off of pit road, looping the race car. As here we go, Jimmy Gauker once again in control of the start, and we go back, hopefully for more than a few laps here to green flag racing. Gauker once again gonna get away with a great start here. Chuck Darling stuck up on that second lane, and look at this, Zach Nichols already slicing and dicing his way through the field on those fresh tires. Knows he can't push him too hard. Has old contact further on back. It is a parking lot off of turn number 2 here. Dave Payton stopped down low. Noah Boucher down there. Nate Henry will get it rolling, and everyone else get it rocking and rolling. It's still more contact. Woo! Well, let's see what happened to bring out the big one here at Concord off of turn number 2. So we'll keep an eye here on the 38 machine of Payton. Chuck Darling into the wall a little bit there on the front straightaway. No harm, no foul there, as Payton looks like might get a little bit tight there. Had to check up a little bit more, and then the 16 machine of Boucher into the back of the 38, and then that leads to the parking lot as everyone tries to get their cars woed on up. Let's take a look one more time. Full speed at this one, as I believe Dev McDonald loops the car with some contact, yeah, from the 13, and then that creates the whole track blocker there. I think out of everyone, Greggy Long not having any damage from that. They kind of wrecked all around him, piling into both lanes, but no one into the back of the 38, so Long sits in a pretty good spot. Same with the 1 car, Tallarico. That wreck almost caught the left rear of the 1 car. As a lot of cars this time by down on pit road to get some damage repair. As once again, we will restack the field and try it again here. And man, these cautions still flying out here. So hopefully now everyone will back it on down. 'Cause I think after this one, I think we definitely need to go single file if we can't get, you know, like 5 consecutive laps here. So here we go. Once again, Jimmy Gauker in control of the start. The 2 machine gets another great start as, oh man, big time hit. Matt Moduleski hard into the outside wall. Landon Atkins up on 2 wheels. And wow, some big hits there. Tanner Tallarico with a lot of front end damage. Holy smokes. That was our second big one of the night, right on the start with everyone bunched on up. Pretty much the worst time to have a big wreck like that, as we'll take a look once again. Oh man, that is tough to really see. I mean, the 11 car was down low. The 14 of Moduleski was drifting on up. We'll maybe try and slow it on down a little bit just to see, but some big time hits there. Greggy Long definitely getting a piece of that one. Same with the 1 car Tallarico. So those drivers that maybe snuck through before, not going to be as lucky this time. As, yeah, you see the big time hit there for Moduleski. And wow, Zach Nichols just going on through the middle there. Chuck Darling just going to woe it on up as well. As, man, a lot of cars torn on up here right at the halfway point. And if the last caution was a parking lot, Ken, you said it there, that one was a scrapyard. Parts and pieces flying all over the track there on the front straightaway. And I think that one gonna eliminate quite a few cars from this one. It looks like 3 cars, heavy damage down on pit road. You see Nate Henry, no right front on that car. Landon Atkins with a lot of damage on the 11. It looks like Matt Moduleski also down on pit road, probably done for the night as well. So here we go. Restart at the halfway point here tonight. And look at this, Zach Nichols up into P number 2. He will start on the outside of the front row, but it's going to be Jimmy Gauker once again in control like the last, I want to say 4 restarts here, as Gauker going to fire on off. And hopefully now we get a long run here. Hopefully maybe to the end of this one, as Gauker going to lead there. But here comes Zach Nichols with the crossover with those fresher tires. Nichols on the bottom side. Gauker going to hold strong. Gauker will lead at the stripe. That 2 machine has shown a lot of pace here. He was the fastest in practice, and it was actually these 2 at the top of the timing charts in practice, first and second, and we see them side by side for the race lead. This is awesome to see at Concord here. 2 drivers wheeling their race cars side by side at a track that it is very tough to do so. Gauker with the crossover move on the 44. They will lean on each other. Wow, Zach Nichols drifting that thing all through the back straightaway. Man, it doesn't get much better than that, folks. So Gauker on those older tires going to hang on to the race lead here at the moment. But man, Zach Nichols is so good at rolling that race car through 1 and 2. And then getting a nice low exit here off of turn number 2. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, he'll enter wide, come off nice and low, and you can see he's at least a car length lower than the 2 car. That means less wheel input under throttle when you're picking up speed, less tire wear on the right front. As we see our race leader get a little bit sideways there. But I do like what Nichols is doing. That's going to be a very, very good piece here if we do get a long run. Greggy Long with those fresher tires as well. He is up into the podium spot, starting to run down our front 2. Right behind them, Zach Coyer starting to put some pressure on Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman running in 4th, Zach Coyer 5th. Chuck Darling, he's back up into 6th here tonight. most of the field behind Darling, spread on out. Talarico running in 7th. Jeff Dillon in 8th. John DeMeester in the top 10 here. DeMeester here coming into this week actually sits in the top 10 in points. DeMeester sits 10th in points here, and with a top 10 run, that is what that 2-car needs. Though right behind him, Travis Wright sits at 10th, right on the back bumper of the 2 machine. Deb McDonald in 11th, and then our first car 1 lap down is the 38 machine of Dave Payton. So battle for the race lead heating on up here tonight. Let's ride on board with our race leader, Jimmy Gauker, looking at the 44 of Zach Nichols. And you can see there, that is what I'm talking about. Nichols able to keep that car pointed lower off of turn number 2, can get that straight drive into the kink. I think that's what's making that 2 machine, or excuse me, that 44 machine very, very sporty. Once again, Nichols gonna look to the inside of Gauker. We'll have the nose on in there, side by side for the race lead once again, running inches apart from each other. Gauker doing a great job of hanging on to that outside lane. These two dead even here at the moment. Though Nichols gonna have a good run into turn number 3 this time. It will be dead even as sideways behind him, Hoffman and Long make contact here, and that is a bummer as these leaders putting on a show here tonight. I hate for it to have to come to a little bit of a pause. As we will take a look here to see what happened to draw our 7th Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening. Maybe speeded. As we will try and see what happened here. Greggy Long loose there into the back straight. Then going into turn number 3 here, Stephen Hoffman gonna look to the inside. Long gonna arc it on in, and just a little bit of misjudgment there maybe from the 86 as he gets into the back of the 38. And both those cars gonna come to a spinning stop here. And it doesn't sound like, at least at the moment, haven't heard any sort of claim here as we see our race leader Jimmy Gauker down on pit road. I believe the only car yet to come down for service. So we will have to see how this 2 car can get through the field and if he can get back to the front, because right now it is Zach Nichols out in front. Chuck Darling up to P number 2. Reggie Long in 3rd. Tanner Talarico in 4th. And Jeff Dillon now rounds out the top 5. So I have a little bit more confidence this time around. So I think we're going to do a little turn 3, turn it up once again after this 7th restart of the night. I have a feeling it will go a lot better than 1 lap than we had the last time here. So Zach Nichols gonna choose the inside lane. He will lead the field to green. Chuck Darling to his outside on the front row, and here we go. Lights are out on the speedway, and we get ready to turn him on loose for about a 45 lap shootout. Zach Nichols gonna fire on off. Greggy Long gonna get a great start as well. Long up to P number 2, maybe not quite. Here comes Chuck Darling trying to work that high side. Side by side down the back straightaway. It is pretty even between those 2. Off of turn number 4, advantage the 38, but Darling not going away with that battle. We will go to a little turn 3, turn it up. back here live. Chuck Darling able to hang on to P number 3 here. Tanner Tallarico up in lane number 2. That's Jimmy Gauker slicing and dicing his way back through this pack here tonight. Has about a 20 lap tire advantage to the next best car. That sits the car in front of him. Stephen Hoffman last down on pit road on 58. Our race leader, of course, down on 43. So Gauker going to have about a 30 lap advantage over our race leader, but he will start to run out of time here as this time by at the stripe. It will be about 35 to go. As now we see Stephen Hoffman trying to work over the 88 of Darling. They'll go side by side for that third position, gonna lean on each other just a little bit. Gauker probably gonna try and get right on the back bumper of the 86, not allow Darling to get on down, and that will be the case there. Gauker had such a good run there to the front straightaway, almost able to get to the inside of Hoffman. Almost thought about a 2-for-1 there. Oh, as Darling gets a big piece of the wall there down the back straightaway. That is the tough thing to do running that high line here tonight, is that if that front end starts to take on off after this dip in the backstretch, it is very, very tough to get that car turned and off of that wall. Stephen Hoffman with a bobble there. That allows Jimmy Gauker to get to the inside of the 86. Hoffman will get a piece of the wall. That could almost open up the door for Poyer. Poyer, though, not going to sail it on in there, so Hoffman will hang on to fourth as Jimmy Gauker into the podium. As Greggy Long now will get a little piece of the wall. So Gauker up into P number 2. Has a clean track to Zach Nichols. Nichols just going through the backstretch kink. There we see Gauker now going through it. So that is the 2.5 second difference. We will keep an eye on the lap time, see if Gauker can run him on down. Still has time to do so. Last time by Zach Nichols, a 16.11. The 2 machine of Gauker, a 15.82. So a 0.2 of a second advantage. That time Nichols a 16.04. Gauker a 15.88. So Gauker is doing what he needs to do. About at least a 10th a lap to run down the 44 machine. And he is doing just that. As we see Zach Coyer now get around Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman going to try the crossover move, going to get to the inside of the 13 machine, but Coyer able to keep the momentum rolling in the 13. Going to take over P number 2 here. Now we also see Jeff Dillon starting to work all over the back bumper of Chuck Darling. Let's ride on board with Dillon here, see what he is seeing out the roof of that race car here, trying to work over Darling. And just show you how tricky this track is. I mean, you could see already how bumpy this place is, but then you got a car in front of you trying to work on around as well. This track can be very, very frustrating, but when you hit the line right, man, does it feel good here. As Dillon going to be able to work around Darling. I believe Darling going to let him get that position. No, hey, no point in racing at that point for that position. As Dave Payton now back on the lead lap here with about 21 laps to go. Payne is up on the lead lap, back into 11th, but he has 9th and 10th sitting right in front of him. As Travis Wright, Devin McDonald sit right there as well. Some of the closest cars on the speedway for the battle for position. out in front here. Zach Nichols race lead about a second advantage for the 44 machine. So Gauker already has eaten into about a second and a half. Can he get any more with now 19 to go at the stripe? Zach Nichols just hoping to keep this pace until the end of this one, hoping that Gauker uses up his stuff by the time he gets to the back bumper of the 44. It looks like Nichols gonna start to encounter a little bit of lap traffic here as John DeMeester in the 2 car right in front of our race leader. Nice and easy there for Nichols, but Gauker really gonna turn up some pace here within now half a second of our race leader. Let's ride on board with Gauker, see what he is doing wheeling this race car, riding on board with the helmet cam. And you can see these drivers working this race car each and every lap. Wheel to the left through the corners as the front end loads on up, then quickly wheel to the right, especially if you get some tire spin here. As Nichols really wide arcs into the corner, really trying to protect that right front here. But now only 14 laps to go. Gauker has gotten within that half-second advantage. But right now, pretty even lap times between our top two. I think at this pace, the only thing Zach Nichols doesn't want to see is a caution flag here late in this one. The battle for third starting to heat on up here. Greggy Long under big time fire from Zach Hoyer. And look at this, Jeff Dillon able to get around Stephen Hoffman. Dillon once again into the top 5 here tonight, as Hoyer gonna get a nose to the inside of Long. Long will put him down on the apron. And that will close on in. Jeff Dillon now into this fight with 2 open palms from the flagman. It is 10 to go here at Concord. So Long driving his butt off, trying to stay up on the podium. Jeff Dillon gonna get a piece of the wall there down the back straightaway. Big time sideways, a lot of wheel spin out of that 38 machine, so Zach Hoyer gonna be able to get on around Hoyer up into a podium spot. Out in front though, Zach Nichols able to stretch out his race lead for the first time here in this green flag run. He has about 7/10 of a second advantage over Jimmy Gauker. This time by, we will see 6 to go, and it's going to be very tight to see if Zach Nichols will encounter this lap traffic before the end of this one. He can take his time with the lap traffic though, doesn't have too much. Oh, as a mistake out of Nichols there, he will grab the wall, get loose on entry, somehow able to not lose too much time, but a rare mistake out of Zach Nichols here in the closing laps. Looks like, in fact, Zach Nichols will be in some lap traffic here at the end of this one. That time by at the stripe will be 3 to go. Dave Payton going to allow Nichols to get on by there, right on corner exit, going to stay up and out of the way for that battle for that position. As popsicle sticks up in the air for Nichols, it is 2 laps to go. Zach Nichols looking to do something that we haven't seen since Justin Brooks, and that is to win 3 races in a row. Zach Nichols will see the white flag here one more time around Concord. Through 3 and 4, the 44 machine will come, and Zach Nichols will three-peat here in the Postma Flooring Super Late Models and win tonight here at Concord. Oh, drama towards the finish on that one. Stephen Hoffman and Greggy Long gonna get together there at the end. That will allow Jeff Dillon to sneak out of P number 4 when it's all said and done. So that will do it here. So Zach Nichols picking up the win. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back here at Concord with our post-race show. So stay tuned here and a quick commercial break to get everyone out of their cars. So we'll be right back here for our post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, back here at the Concord Speedway, and our first driver we will be talking to here tonight is our third place finisher. That will be the 13 machine of Zach Coyer. Zach, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir, I do.
Alrighty, my man. First and foremost, how are we feeling after 125 laps here at Concord?
A little frustrated, but overall good. I finished the race, got a podium, so.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of people coming out of here frustrated. I mean, what was the tough part about the race here tonight?
Just honestly, the other drivers knowing where to pass them and how to pass without bumping. Granted, I used the horn a couple times, which ain't my style, but at this track, you just kind of do it, and that's why it gets so frustrating after a while, because everybody's just trying to hold their position, and at some point, you just got to go.
Yeah, and this track, already kind of tricky with the layout of it with this kind of backstretch kink, mini Pocono, let's call it. But then you got to add the tight confined racing line as well. That, like you said, I could see being very frustrating, especially with a car not in the right spot or trying to make a move at the wrong time.
Yeah, I definitely knew I had a fast car, and it took me all race to get the steering ratio dialed down. Kept going from 8 to 1 to 12 to 1, and then qualified 8 to 1, spun both laps, and had to started back there without a spot and switched it to 12-1 and just realized half throttle was the way to go. Just like you said, it gets so tricky going through there, and you can't really gun it up full speed. Slower is faster here, unfortunately, and it kind of bottles everybody up.
Yeah, and that is definitely the case here, that the smooth way is the fast way around Concord, especially in the super late model. I mean, we saw a lot of people having trouble putting the power down. It seemed like you had to be on the wheel each and every lap.
Yeah, you for sure did. Whether it's like like you said, just got to be up on the wheel of this track. I know Jimmy and Zach were in their own area code. Kudos to them for running as hard as they did and as fast as they were. Nobody had anything for them, but it was for sure just a overall exhausting race.
Yeah, I could believe so here. And yeah, man, of course, another race with some adversity here. As you came down pit road, what was it, lap 10 here tonight?
Yeah, I got some early damage, and I think about like a minute worth of front end damage, and it was right in the front. And I knew if this thing would go green, which this group usually tends to go green, so I figured I'd get as much fixed. But unfortunately, it was just an off night, and we got all them yellows, and I was able to get all the damage fixed. And then there was the big cluster, I think, in turn 3, which my teammate lifted me up, said he could see everything underneath my car, but thankfully it was from the rear and not the front. So got that fixed again, took tires at halfway, and just tried to ride it out and see if I could get up here. And hey, I made it up here to give you a shout.
Yeah, you did. And a great race by you, Zach. Like we said, a lot of adversity here tonight. And this now marks your fifth top five of the season. So you've been putting in some pretty good efforts here. And yeah, this will put your P number 5 on the season for the amount of top fives. Pretty impressive here from the 13 machine.
Yeah, that's that. Like I said, that's always my goal. I'm not a hot lap hero, so I never start out front. So always getting a top 5 is a big thing for me. I think I've got maybe one win in all my races combined. So winning's definitely not my thing, but consistency is always key, and consistency wins championships in my book. So just try to be consistent and get up here, because there's a bunch of fast guys in here and a bunch of good guys. So anytime you get up on a podium, it's technically a win in my book.
Yeah, that definitely is, like you said, especially with this group. And, you being one of the good shoes in this league. And, we have some fun tracks up on the schedule, as well as, racing for that LaPlante Challenge next, well, 2 weeks from now after our off week at Five Flags, and then come back for race number 3 at Linear. How are you feeling about those tracks upcoming on the schedule?
Honestly, Five Flags, I think I might be in the running to win if Zach makes a mistake, because man, that kid's fast. But yeah, Five Flags, I tend to be really good. I've run a bunch of derbies, and that's always my track. And hopefully it goes green. And then Lanier, I don't know where I'm at in the LaPlante triple crown event, but definitely feel comfortable there. So I've definitely got my sights set high for these next few races and try to maintain a top 3 in points.
Yeah, and right now you're able to eat away a little bit at Tanner Tallarico and Stephen Hoffman sitting in front of you. Actually, you and Tanner came in tied in points here tonight, so you're going to walk away with P number 3 in points.
That's always yeah. I knew we were close to it, and that drop week is definitely a thing to keep an eye out, because I try to make every race so I don't have to use that drop week. So hopefully it'll just take away the worst finish I've had, which there's a couple of them we can choose from. But like I said, I'm always trying to be consistent, and consistency wins championships in my book. But you got to win in this league, because I think Zach's got like half the wins, but he's definitely a hard one to compete against. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like for you here with the drop week now being factored on in, it looks like Stafford at the moment is your drop week here. So as long as you do better than Stafford, right, you'll be pretty good looking for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and that one hurts me, because I remember that Stafford race. I had a really fast car, and I think I got in the back of Ian Martin there late in the race and couldn't make nothing up. I remember, yeah, that one haunts me a while, because Stafford's usually my best track.
Yeah, definitely a tough break for you there because, like you said, you're running really good. So, Zach, here tonight, though, ending things on a high note up on the podium, my man. So, before we let you go and celebrate this podium finish, we're going to go hand over the mic to you one last time and thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, and anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
As always, want to thank you up in the booth and Turn 3 for always giving us something to watch. Tanner and all the guys for putting this league together. Andrew, I know it gets frustrating, but appreciate giving us a place to race. Vade Paints for this awesome paint scheme on my cars. Cold Beer Cameras, my YouTube channel, which we should be doing some All American videos this Friday and Saturday with All American 400 in town, and just everybody who tunes in weekly and watches this, and just all the guys in the league for making it fun to race against.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Zach, thank you for being part of the show, and you, my man, have yourself a great rest of the night, and we'll catch you 2 weeks at Five Flags Speedway.
Appreciate it, Bubba. Time to go get hammered.
For sure, man. Alrighty, folks. That was our third place finisher here tonight, the 13 machine of Zach Coyer. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher, that being the 2 machine of Jimmy Gauker. Jimmy, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got a copy, Brett.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how are we feeling after 125 laps here at Concord?
Well, I kind of wanted one more spot there, right there at the end. I was gaining on Zach there. Just made a mistake, come off the final corner, got into the wall, and I got stuck to it, and I lost a lot of time to Zach.
Yeah, and that seemed like it was the case, and I think if you wanted one thing maybe to redo over is maybe that strategy call. I mean, what's one thing or a few things you could have changed besides, that late race wall hit?
I really would change the strategy as much. I feel like I had a really good strategy going in. I just didn't execute it properly there.
Yeah, and a tough break for you, but overall to drive back through the field like you did and run down Zach Nichols, that was super impressive. But I think the most fun we saw all night long, that battle between you and Zach, you on old tires, putting on a show, man. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was honestly a blast there. Props to Zach there for racing me clean like he always does. He even said when that caution came out after that battle, he said that was really fun, and I said I agree. But I just know on the newer tires he wouldn't have the drive off, so I just try to get the drive off as much as I could possibly off of Zach.
Yeah, and that definitely seemed like the 44 strong suit. It seemed like he would exit the corner a little bit lower than you. You would kind of arc out corner exit. He would kind of arc in corner entry. Did you try and change that on up, or did you know, hey, this rhythm was working well for me, I'm gonna go stick to that?
Well, I think when initially Zach got to the inside of me there, I let him go and I crossed him up and got on his inside there down the front stretch to take the lead back. And then he tried to execute the same thing. And then I just stuck on his outside for a few laps. And then somehow he got the nose on me right when the caution came out. I don't agree with the race control there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and here tonight, another podium finish for you. Of course, last time I think you were in the podium was the LaPlante Triple Crown or the LaPlante Short Track Throwdown. But here tonight with this top 5 finish, it put you P number 2 in the top 5 percentage. So with your limited starts, when you show on up, it seems like this 2 car is always a threat for a win.
Oh yeah, this car's been really good. This Port City car has been really fast since we brought it back out, especially took it to Langley a few weeks back. But I thank all the guys at the shop as well for all their hard work.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And you guys have some pretty good pieces here. And yeah, Jimmy, I mean, I think only 4 races left in the schedule. 5 flags in 2 weeks. We know you're always pretty good there. Linear, New Smyrna, Hickory. Do you plan to try and make all those races? And if you do, which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm definitely planning on making all of them for sure. Five Flags, Five Flags and Hickory are probably my go-to right there. I feel like we're confident and we should be good at, especially running all those the Derby last few years. And then Hickory, I feel like I've always had success there, Hickory.
Yeah, and like you said, those snowball derby events that you've been a part of, how you you won a couple of those now, right?
I have not won one of them. I've been second multiple times.
Oh, that's what it is. I know you've always run really well there, but I think this season could be the difference, for that 2 machine to end up in victory lane. Because, like you said, you've been close many of times. It seems like.
Yeah, it just sucks, when you're building your own setup and you're going up against these shut up guys like Caudal and RKM and EPI, they're always got good stuff there. They're always fast. And when you're building your own setup, it's kind of hard to try to be consistent as those guys and just try to set up for the long run is probably your better goal.
Yeah, that probably is definitely the case because probably when it comes to those guys, they probably have at least 5 times more hours put into their setups than probably you do with a single car team or whatnot, right?
Oh yeah, I'm only on basically during the week right now, and um, it's just I think it's just literally just like photographic memory and just touch and just remember how to get back on the sim just that quick was just honestly just unbelievable to me. I thought I was gonna struggle for a little while, but just being fast as those guys again, fast as Zach is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, that it is. And here in these super late models, Jimmy, you seem to have these things figured out. Definitely the class of the field here, and I think here tonight walking away with the most laps led. So congrats on that. Congrats on the runner-up finish. But before we let you go, man, I know there's a lot of people you got to thank. So Jimmy, here we go. Who do you got to thank? Whether sponsors, teammates, and anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Well, I first and foremost gotta thank you for broadcasting, Tanner and Andrew for putting all this up for us to run every Tuesday and Wednesday. Appreciate them a lot. Gotta thank my mom, my girlfriend Ty for always watching, my buddy Steve who's watching my stream right now. Um, all my sponsors: Hoosier Racing Tire, Meyer, DAC Enterprise, Frickers Mint, Hoax Graphics, Zach Mega Foundation, Jimmy Gack Racing, and No Chance Motorsports.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Jimmy. Once again, congrats on the runner-up finish and another great race for the two machines. So, Jimmy, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again in the near future, but here tonight, man, have a great one.
Yep, you too, Brett. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. Zach, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yep.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 125 laps here at Concord?
I'm feeling pretty good. I did not think that we were going to do good tonight because I don't have many laps here. So I was surprised with how good we were able to save the right front because it looked like as the run went on, a lot of people started struggling with the right front and be able to turn through turn one and turn three. So I'm glad we were able to power through that and come home with a good finish.
Yeah, and that you did, able to pick up now 3 wins in a row. We haven't seen that in the Postma tour since last season with Justin Brooks. So some pretty elite company to put your name in that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a good group to be in with getting that done. And yeah, like I said, I'm surprised we even got to 3 because I don't have many laps here. But yeah, it was a fun race, and that last run with Jimmy coming, it was a ton of fun, and was yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll start at the end of the race, make our way towards that end to the run. I'm sure you're thinking, no caution from here on out. You didn't get a caution, but man, that had to be a little bit nerve-wracking to see Gauker chipping away at that lead and then throwing some lap cards there as well, right, to make it a little bit extra spicy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Once Jimmy got cleared and I saw that he was running almost 3/10 a lap faster than me, I was a little nervous. And then once he got to pretty much I think a second back, I was sweating there. And then I think he got the wall there with like a couple laps to go, and I kind of just hunkered down and just decided to try to hit my marks as best I could. So glad we were able to get it done, and it was a fun race.
Yeah, that it looked like it. And Zach, I gotta mention it. I don't see it too often from you, especially late in a race. But we saw a mistake going into turn number 3. How much of a pucker moment was that? With about I think it was like 6 to go.
Dang, I hope you didn't. I was hoping you didn't see that. But yeah, I think it was like 8 or so to go. It was with the backstretch being like just a kink, and with the rear tires fading away. It was just a kind of a handful to try to get the power down. I was sliding all around, and I just clipped the right rear against the wall entering 3, and then it foobarred the whole corner. I started sliding and all that fancy jazz, but luckily we were able to gather it all up and fend off Jimmy.
Yeah, that you were. And the most impressive stuff from that save was you only lost a tenth when it was all said and done.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Yeah, it
I
was
for sure thought I lost a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, it was definitely very impressive to watch, even out of the mistake, which we don't see too often. Like I said, that was a great recovery there. And speaking about great stuff, man, that battle between you and Jimmy, were you expecting that with old tires? He put on a heck of a battle there.
Uh, After the turn one where I kind of just drove right underneath him, I didn't expect to be able to like just stick it on the outside. But yeah, we had a great heads up battle there, and then I got clear, and then he crossed me up, which is a great move. I was not expecting that, and then down the backstretch after he crossed me up, I pretty much drifted the whole backstretch, and then I ticked my right rear off, and I just said, "All right, he can have it. I'm gonna let this thing cool back down. I'll gather myself up and then charge back at him," and that's what we did. And luckily, we got a bumper on him off turn 3 or turn 4, whatever you want to call it, the last corner, and the caution came out right when we were just ahead.
Yeah, that caution definitely coming out for the perfect time for you. And speaking about cautions, man, some close calls before that there with that big one on the front stretch and that one off of turn number 2. You took some tires early, put yourself in the hornet's nest. How were you feeling about that strategy with all that calamity going on around you as well?
Yeah, I'm just thankful I missed him. I saw that one with I think Matt Mazelewski and Landon. I'm not sure whose fault it was, but yeah, that one definitely had me pucker up a little bit. And I drove to the inside wall and was glad we were able to miss it. But yeah, I saw Tanner come like swerve to go down pit road early, and I knew that track position was probably going to be key, so I kind of just followed him down and just was hoping that we could get through the field faster than he could, and we ended up doing that. And yeah, I kind of reverse, even though like we got it down, I kind of wish I would have stayed out later and pitted later with Jimmy.
Yeah, because it seemed like Jimmy definitely had the tire advantage, but Zach, you had enough pace to hang on to another win. So, of course, exiting here, coming in, you have the points lead, leading with the points lead. We have an off week, then to Five Flags. How you feeling about Five Flags with race number 2 of the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge in 2 weeks?
Not sure where I'm at in the LaPlante Triple Crown series, but usually Five Flags everyone's pretty similar at, so that's probably going to be a really good race, and hopefully we can just do what we did tonight and come home with a solid finish.
Yeah, and that has been the name of the game here for the 44 machine. I took a look at the stats here, and I mean, man, every single race so far this season in the super late models, you have finished in the top 10. That is very impressive.
I'm surprised about that one. I know with the first race at Richmond, I got into a kerfuffle with while leading, and I didn't think that we finished in the top 10 that race, but glad we have.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And of course, now I believe, let me triple check this just to get all my numbers right here. But I believe this is now going to be career win number, I think, 32 for you now.
Oh dang, that's a big number for sure. And yeah, I mean, just racing in this league with the type of competition and just the good group of guys that's in it, it's a ton of fun to come out each week and just race with them. It's like racing with Ron, Jimmy, Tanner, Jaden. It's a ton of fun, and just look forward to it every week.
Yeah, we definitely love to have you out on track as well to keep that caliber of competition super high, man. And yeah, to put on the great show that you did like you did tonight here. So, Zach, before we let you go and continue to celebrate down in Victory Lane, we are going to hand over the mic to you here for the final time tonight and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, and anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd like to thank RSS Mobile Trailer Repair, Carney's Complete Auto Service, PSS&C, R&M Towing. My dad's watching the broadcast. My Uncle Kenny's also watching. I'd like to shout them out. And you guys for broadcast, you guys do a great job. Tanner and everyone that puts the whole league on. It's a ton of fun to come out each week and put on the show. And yeah, that's about it.
All righty, Zach. Well, you, my man, have yourself a great rest tonight. Congrats on the win. Congrats on 3 in a row. and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future. But Zach, enjoy tonight, enjoy the off week, and we'll see you 2 weeks at Five Flags Speedway.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner here tonight, Zach Nichols, able to go 3 in a row. So let's head on over, get things wrapped on up. Let's go through tonight's race results. Before we do that, we got to thank everyone to tuning on in, whether live or on the replay. We appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, appreciate you guys listening to me yap here and call these races. If you want some more racing action, be sure to tune in tomorrow night with the Street Stocks at Las Vegas, or in 2 weeks' time when ASRC comes on back. But here tonight is the race results for the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour at Concord. Zach Nichols picking up the win. Jimmy Gauker finishing P number 2. And Zach Coyer here with his 5th top 5 will finish 3rd. Jeff Dillon in the 52 machine, able to have himself a great night here. He will finish 4th. And Stephen Hoffman will round out the top 5. Chuck Darling in the 88 will finish 6th. 7th going to Greggy Long. 8th is Tanner Tallarico. Travis Wright in 9th. And Dave Payton able to rebound to a top 10 here. Deb McDonald will finish 11th. 12th going to John DeMeester. 13th is Noah Boucher. 14th going to Landon Atkins. 15th is Nate Henry. 16th, Matt Modulewski. 17th, Zane Cruz. And John Perriel did not make the call here tonight. So that will do it here from Concord. We, of course, got to thank all the partners here at ASRC, that being LaPlante Racing Products, Boardwalk Subs, as well as the big one, Postma Flooring. You want to check them out, there's a link in the description. That will take you over to their Facebook, and you can find out more information by them. You want to keep in touch with the American Sim Racing Club, check them out on Facebook at American Sim Racing Club. So yeah, that'll do it. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour at Five Flags. And that race will be an exciting one. Maybe a little bit prelude to some fun winter activities. But that will do it here tonight. So everyone, take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. Turn 3 also partnered with Premier Setup Shops. You can check them out as well with the link in the description. So that will do it here tonight. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. And I just flew by you. Have a good one.